Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Seminary. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you are good. So I was taking a look at capitalism, and then I was like, capitalism equals to black exploitation, and I got you. You can actually see where the videos are coming from, right? So the people that spoke on the video talked about also that was like black capitalism doesn't work when the end goal is to make the success of black people's slave master. And also he was like there is need for economic self-sufficiency and effective resources opportunity allocation, right? So the video also, the people were talking about how, like, how come, like, if you earn like $70,000, like, you are also struggling to live, while back then when their parents earned like, maybe like 20 15,000 US dollar per month, and they were also able to raise children and have houses and all that. So he also, also talked about how black people are the ones that build the economy, but then they take everything away from them. Why they have the reason why they do that. And I was like, sometimes we say that the system is broken, but all I can tell you is that the system is actually not broken. The system is working the way it was designed to work. The system wasn't designed to favor you. It was designed to favor other people. You know what? Let's get into this.
Today, we're going to be talking about how the U.S. capitalist system is based on the exploitation of black people. Now, first, let me explain what capitalism is. And I'm going to use the game Monopoly to help me explain it to you. Okay? So imagine this. You're playing Monopoly with 4 people. Everyone starts with the same amount of money, rolls the same dice, and follows the same rules. On the surface, it looks fair, just like capitalism claims to be. But capitalism is the illusion of equality. The game is really set up like this. One player already owns half the properties before the game starts. They got their wealth passed down to them. Another player isn't allowed to buy property for the first 5 turns. A third player is allowed to play, but their money gets taken away if they land on certain spaces, a penalty the others don't face. And the last player, they play by all the official rules. Now start the game. What do you think happens? The player who owns property from the start, they start collecting rent immediately. Their money grows without even working for it. The player who can't buy property early on, they fall behind fast. And every time they land on someone else's space, they pay rent, but they don't have assets of their own. The one losing money unfairly, they're consistently broke and in debt, and one roll away from losing it all. The equal rules player might survive for a while, but they're still playing on a board that is unfair. And that's capitalism. What does this teach us? Inherited wealth matters. Those who start with assets will keep accumulating more. Individual success, when your people are suffering, shouldn't feel good, because it should be a reminder that, oh yes, I quote unquote made it. But if you look back and your people are suffering, then you really didn't make it. Because I don't want to make it to the mountaintop that Martin talked about if I'm standing there alone. Come on!
Since this is like a Christo-fascist nation or whatever, this probably won't matter, but in my studies, I'm starting to realize that to the white capitalist or the white businessman under capitalism, the riches are his freedom. So his whole goal is to obtain access to power through the riches so he can be free to do whatever the fuck he pleases. Our problem as black people is trying to go that route as well. The very individualistic, self-serving, narcissistic aspect of capitalism. Because at the end of the day, capitalism is not inherently evil. It's the people who use the system for nefarious ways that are evil. And there isn't only one form of capitalism. Think about it. There's 480 million types of Christianity, bro. But fundamentally, most of you guys are following the same thing. Now, in my studies of not just traditional black business, but you have to think about all the ways to which we've been shut out and excluded from traditional business. So where we've had to conduct our entrepreneurship and business opportunities underground or through illegal means. Because how are you going to throw people into projects where they're not making enough money and then expect them to still pay the bills that you give a regular person who does have access? You're almost forcing people to do crime at that point. But that's a little far from the point. When we as black people are given opportunities to participate legally, effectively in the business field, I've realized that we get lost trying to chase the white man's version of success rather than trying to recognize or acknowledge freedom is the goal for us. Because under their form of capitalism, they need to control us to create that wealth that they want so desperately. But for us, the answer is freedom. We obtain riches within this system only, exclusively to maximize our ability to fully liberate or to have freedom for ourselves and then to decide what we do with that. Because I'm telling you, if you even give us an hour a day of freedom, true freedom, and then 2 days a week, 3 days, 4 days a week, I'm telling you right now, we're going to realize, dude, we were never meant to be slaves on this planet. I don't care if it's a curse of Ham, curse of Moses, curse of Joseph. I don't give a fuck about any of that bullshit. We were never meant to be slaves on this planet. This is a human experience we're having here, bro. And it's like me saying this in a very simple sense for you guys to get. I'm either going to use the smartphone. I'm not going to say ChatGPT. I'm going to use the smartphone to escape my real world in these fantasy universes and worlds that are on here, or I'm going to use it as a tool to make my real world more efficient through the tool so I can do more of what I really want to do in this one life that I have. And at the end of the day, it's your choice as to what direction you go. So for my black people, instead of just sitting here with like this like stench on capitalism, figure out how we have been exploited and have been the backbone of other people's economic systems, and figure out how and why we haven't been doing that for ourselves, or how we can and why we haven't been doing that for ourselves, and just being our own battery pack, and then deciding who deserves access to our self-sufficiency outside of ourselves, rather than being colonized and then conquered and then forced to follow our colonizers' philosophy, which forces us to hate ourselves. Because I'm telling you right now, like, we as black people, like, I'm not gonna say that, but understand that, because in this world we're walking into, there is no politician, there is no president, there is no Democratic Party, Republican Party, there's none of those people are gonna save us. We're moving into a world of masters and slaves, meaning that you have to be business-minded, business-educated, so you are not the product that is being sold, or you aren't selling your time to be a service to other people. We have to figure out how to create our own, like, and we did this in segregated America, which is fucking hilarious, because that's why they don't want us to go back there. Because we had our own self-sufficiency and our own self-sufficient economies. And they had to keep on blowing those up to stop us from thinking that we were anything more than their property. But let me know what you guys think about this. It's a very interesting conversation, and I hope that we want to have more of it. Because we're going to keep on waiting for, like, I don't know, Bernie Sanders or somebody to save us, and we're still going to be broke the whole entire fucking time. And at the end of the day, the issue, the answer to most of our issues underneath the capitalist system is money. The thing is that politics makes us think that there's a way you can, like, reason yourself out of being poor. And then you can reason other people who are rich to, like, give you money, as if that's just not fucking begging, bro. No, you need money, you need capital, you need economic leverage in this system. And black people, we create that inherently, but other people have been destroying us psychologically so they can use it for themselves. The second we start using it for ourselves, then maybe we can create our own type of capitalism that isn't only serving this illusion of a god, which is basically just like a Wizard of Oz front, so a bunch of wealthy people can go to whatever land they want, destroy the whole entire thing, corrupt everybody, and steal all the shit that they want for themselves. Because at the end of the day, the caucus of Asian man's capitalism is just perpetual colonization of cultures and communities, and then the self-destruction of the people who own or are responsible for those things, so those people aren't a nuisance in, like, stopping them from colonizing as efficiently as they do. That's all. business philosophy at the end of the day. And if you guys want to get smart instead of argue about, well, Karl Marx, then like have at it. But final thing here, the reason why I have my own independent theory for a lot of these philosophies are because you have to remember, in the world we're walking into, which is the world that we used to be living in, not only did black people and women and disabled people not have human, we were owned capital that was negotiated and allocated and transacted amongst our ownership class. Remember that. If we don't own anything, it's not just the fact that we're going to be renters. Fuck renting. We are going to be transactional capital for owners of property. And at that point, it's not going to matter what type of protest you go to, what type of politician you elect. None of that shit will matter at the end of the day, because we will be, again, screaming at the hand that is feeding us. And they can just choose to starve us at the end of the day, which is what they're doing right now. So there's no political movement you're going to have that is not supported by some type of economic backing that is self-sufficient, because that's the only way that that economic backing and the political movement can stay authentic to what they are. Or else they'll get bought out and corrupted, or they'll just get sabotaged from the outside, or they'll get starved from the outside because the people in the movement are too fucking stupid to realize that they're begging for money too. They're just doing it in some morally intellectual superior way.
He's saying, oh, if you broke, just say that, bruh. I shouldn't have to be rich to be comfortable, bruh. I'm a truck driver, bro. I make almost $70,000 a year, bro. That should be good enough, bro. I went to school. I got a trade. All that shit. Even people in college went 4 years. They in debt like a mug, and they can't get half a job that I can get. Bro, you should not have to be rich to be comfortable in this country, bro. Our parents used to work and make $30,000 a year. They could buy a house. They could buy a car. They could feed 3 kids, 5 kids. And they ain't need no side hustle. They ain't have multiple streams of income, bro. They had a house. They had a car, bro. They all that, bro. Look, bro, we shouldn't be getting scammed like this, bro. We shouldn't have to get scammed into living this capitalist shit, bro. We can't even buy no land. And don't even think about the BlackRock shit where you won't even be able to buy a house. You're going to have nothing, you're going to own nothing, and you're going to like it. That's what they want. But y'all want that shit too. And people be saying, oh, if you broke, just say that, bro.
This is all I got from this video, and sincerely speaking, it's all exploitation of people that look like me, and that is something that has been happening. You know, sometimes we are like, saying that the system is broken, but there is something that I found out when it comes to American system. It is actually not broken, right? The system is actually performing, or the way the system is performing the way they designed it. Meaning, it was not designed for people that look like me. Just like sometime when I said that the insincerity, like the system wasn't designed with fairness. It was designed for just a particular people, so the rest can look for a way to fit in. It is either you fit in or you fit out, or you continue to struggle. This is absolutely the way it is. Look around. Who built the system? Who built Americans? Like when I said the system, like who built the things that they are also benefiting from today? It is off Black people's labor. Everything was built on Black people's labor, sweat, blood. That's why sometimes, there are times I want to say, oh, Black people, I understand you are being treated unfairly. I think it's time to come back. I know Black people will come back. That is when they feel like coming back. Hear me and hear me right. You cannot build a place and you want to run from the place you built. In as much, I am going to say this, and I am saying it because I know what I am saying. It might not go well with a lot of people, but I want you to hear me. If you sit down and you think about it, you absolutely will understand that there is sense in what I am saying. I am not saying black people will not come back. I know black people will come back. That is the day they choose to come back. Right? But if it's me trying to tell you to leave what you labored for and run away, no, you are not going to run away. You can take a break. Right? It's just like they say, he who lives to fight today, live to fight tomorrow. Right? You are not running away. It is you taking a break to strategize and come back. So I am never ever going to start advising or telling somebody, I know you built this country, but you see how, yes, because if you run away, what will happen to the next generation and the other generations? Your ancestors did not run away. They fought till you are able to enjoy some certain things today. If they had run away, there would not be anything for you. So you are also going to, I know it's a struggle. I mean, that's life is just mean to some people. And I am not exempted. Right? You have to continue. The other generations till there is a result of the fight, because you have come a very long way to quit. You have come a very long way to stop. Right? You can take a break, which is okay, then come back. Why is the system designed the way they designed it? Because they want to continue to hold the power. They do not want to share that power. They do not want that power to circulate. That's why if you look around, you can also see the way they are trying as much as they can to hold that power. That's why if you look around, you also will hear them saying that there is decline in population. Why is there? Some are not giving birth, and they are a little bit nervous that something might happen. I don't want to continue. I don't want to go into details. Why is it that when a black man probably wants to start something great and need a loan, why is it hard to get a loan? But other people it's so easy for them to access loan. Have you not asked yourself, why is it that in black community, I mean, when you come to black community, it is mostly Asian stores. Why did they give them that power? Because they designed the system in a way that they will be able to get that, start up something in your neighborhood to take away your money. Because if you were to be black-owned businesses all over, don't you know how flourishing it will be? But they use other people in order to siphon your money. They get loans. Do you get loan? Of course, no. I remember seeing a documentary. I brought some here. Oh my goodness, these people. When a video of back then, I mean, like after the slavery and all that. So it happened that some communities made meeting that they would not want to have black people in their neighborhood. Right? That if you rent your house to a black person, and if you marry a black person, there are so many things that will happen to you. And when see, there are some words these people actually mapped out the way they want black people to be from that time. And that system is still the same to this very moment. Yeah. So the system is not broken. It is operating the way they want it to operate. I am going to draw the curtain here. Long video. Bye for now.